Afternoon. A big one, I might add. Here today is the last 3 at 3 of the week. So let's get started, shall we? Kicking it off right now. 3 at 3 brought to you by Market Rebellion every business day, 3 p.m. Eastern or thereabouts. I begin with 3 at 3, which is unusual option activity. It is the 25th of September. The disclaimer is that this is for educational and informational purposes only. Full stop. All investments involve risk. You need to understand that before you trade. Intellectual property rights. We have copyrighted material in what you're about to see, trademarked material, as well as registered marks and patents. Please do not use this without asking us first. We will encourage you to share it with your friends, but we would like you to ask before you post this anywhere else. Thank you. All right. Take a quick look at one that we did yesterday in Qualcomm. Bullish call buying in Qualcomm with the stock at 111.50. They were buying the next week expiry October 115 calls. 90 cents to $1.40. I think I paid $1.15 for them, something like that myself. Let's see how they worked out, shall we? Oh, nicely done. So those 2nd of October expiration 115 calls got all the way up to $2.79. Now, I've tweeted this today, and I think most of you know, but my discipline is that I take off at least half when a stock makes a move in the direction. If it's calls that I'm buying, that direction would be up. If it's puts that I'm buying, that direction would be down. Now, when a stock makes a move and makes those calls more expensive like it has here, I take a profit. Now, the question is always, well, at what level do you take a profit, John? I take a profit on a double, a 2x. So in other words, this one moved from $1.15. If it gets to $2.30, I take off half. I took off 75%, in fact. I'm only leaving 25% on the table. And as you see, I didn't get anywhere near the high of the day. It kept running, went all the way to 280, and then it pulled back to just a little bit ago, $1.78. Still like it, but I like taking that money off the table, putting it in my pocket. I know I'll be at the tables longer if I play that way. And in fact, according to what I'm seeing now, I may have just got out of the rest of those. Because what I do, folks, is, yep, I did. So I'm out. What I do is I snug up a stop underneath where I get out. So in other words, I had a double today. I put the offer in at 230. They took it. Thank you very much. Took 75% of my position. Why 75% instead of 50%? Because these options expire next Friday. Now, this one very well might go, all the way through to 120. And these options would be $5 in the money. The right to buy it at 115 would be worth $5 at 120. But that's not the way I play. I'm playing for hits. I want to get on base. I want a strong on base percentage. So when I get something that is short term, like a next week expiring call, I want to take a big chunk off when it moves. The rest, apparently, I sold at about $1.90. The rest of my calls, according to the fill here. So got in yesterday at $1.15, sold 75% at 230, sold the other 25% at about $1.90 to down to $1.85. Bang. That's where it is. All right. If you would like to learn more about trading, can't give you a better offer than this. 2020 Virtual Trading Conference. You don't have to travel. In fact, you can watch it from anywhere on this planet. Anywhere where you get an internet connection, folks, you can watch and listen to the likes of Tom Lee at Fundstrat, Jeff Mackey, Doug Kurzian, who does the sports betting analysis on ESPN. He does a fabulous job. Tony Dwyer, Canaccord, and Dwyer Strategies. Raul Paul, the founder of Real Vision. Grover Nordquist, Mark Lepresti, Dirk Muller, Ryan Mastro, AJ Monty, Bill Johnson, myself, my brother Pete, a couple other surprise guests. Make sure if you would like to attend that you get your ticket now. That's October 9th and 10th. October 9th and 10th. You can still sign up at marketrebellion.com. 2 full days, 15 hours of options and trading, coaching, education, and inspiration. Bang. All right, I only got to do one unusual activity today because the show was pretty tight. So Alcoa stock at 1151. They asked me to do unusual option activity, which I did, of course. And I said, hey, they're buying upside calls at the 14 strike out in January. Again, you heard me say it at the top of the show. The infrastructure and industrial plays are way out in January for the most part. Not all, but a lot of the big trades are out there. That's when they're looking for it to move. So I talked about those January 14 calls and that intense volume, as you see there, 11,000 of those, next to nothing traded prior. And all of a sudden, boom, look at that big spike of volume. And I am in calls at the 12 strike as well as these 14 strike calls. Bang. Second of our 3 at 3, TJX. Just a little bit ago, we noted 12,000 of the Nove double nickel, 55 double nickel calls trading for $2.70. And then that smart trader sold January 60s against it. So what they did, folks, is they created a $5 spread. The difference between 55, where they have the right to buy it, and 60, where somebody else could take it from them. They're going to lose it at 60. So that's $5. So in other words, they paid $2.70, collected approximately $2, so they paid 75 cents for this trade. 75 cents for something that could go to $5. I like following that. I'm in the trade. TJX was about $53 approximately at that time. There is a chart. It's 53.10, virtually the same. But you see, it's made some nice bounces off of a bottom this week. And if we can get through 54, I think 55 is our next stopping point. Let's get to the third of our 3 at 3. But first, if you'd like to learn more about unusual option activity, please go to marketrebellion.com/UOA. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA. Why that? Well, because that's where you can, believe it or not, sign up for unusual option activity. You'd get these trades before we talk about them on TV, before we do 3 at 3. And by the way, we never know what we're going to be able to get on TV. Today, my unusual activity prior to going on the show was Microsoft and Apple, because I saw unusual activity in both. But then at the top of the show, they changed it up and they said, hey, John, we're going to talk about Apple and Microsoft top of the show. Please give us 2 others. So just to let you know that nobody in our room knows what we're about to talk about on TV. In fact, only at the last minute do I even know what we're about to talk about, because we try to make it as interactive as possible, as live as possible, and as fair as possible. Yes, our subscribers do get it first, but they don't know which ones we're going to talk about. So if you're looking for some sort of tip like that, you got the wrong service, folks. We play by the rules, and my disclosures are made prior to going on the show. And then sometimes if I buy something during the day, which is frequent, or trade out of it, which is also frequent, I highlight that activity by saying, I just bought this, I just sold that. But you guys know that because you watch the show. Third of our trades is indeed Apple, because with the stock under 108 this morning, we saw 13,000 of next week's expiring 1375 calls changing hands. So the right to buy it at 1375 was trading for, let's call it $1.10 on average. 13,000 of them means 1.3 million share equivalent. That's a big trade. I like to follow big trades. My friend, Courtney Gibson, love you, Court. She's right in here with me in Apple, and she bought it. And as according to Scott, called the bottom. Love you, both Courtney and Scott. Apple, love this one as well. Although it is now my second largest position, but it's just by a hair because Microsoft is doing so well, but Apple's having a big day. Was under 108 when we cited this unusual activity for $1.10 on average. Now it's nearly 112. Bang, $4 higher, folks. That is why we trade options. Bang. All right. I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. There's, by the way, a graph for the day. That's 5-day graph. This is a graph for the day. Look at that. Just lower left to upper right. Love that. All right, and where did they buy them? Look at that dip. Right before 10 o'clock in the morning, they were buying as it dipped below 108. You got to love that. That timing is exceptional. All right, you'd like to learn more about anything we do, please go on over to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. You can see all about our offerings, which are multiple trades a day, one trade a day, one trade a week. You decide how much you want to trade. We've got educational offerings for stock, options, futures, cryptocurrencies at marketrebellion.com. Thank you for joining me, folks. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're entertained by this, and I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bang.